You got any trade news yet on the Preds before Monday?
Nope. Any Forsberg extension yet?
Next 48 hours of our lives coming down to this. Everybody's hands go up, way up, as the Nashville Predators defeat the Toronto Maple Leafs by a score of 6-3 Saturday night inside Bridgestone Arena. On a night where a record was broken, the Preds continued their winning ways, having now won 4 of their last 5 and 6 of their last 8 games. A certain special somebody who we are all waiting to get resigned once and for all by Preds brass would have a special moment. But we'll get to that. Just wait. This is not only the Preds' final home game before Monday's trade deadline. This is the Preds' final game at all before Monday's trade deadline, as every member of Preds Nation waits patiently to see if this team will be tweaked, or more importantly, if somebody, a certain somebody who means a lot to this franchise, gets re-signed. Chants of "Go Leafs Go" can be heard throughout the Bridgestone Arena stands early in this game, as these two teams play pretty evenly through the first few minutes. But the Preds players and the overall fans wearing gold in the stands don't want the Leafs crowd to take their home team that they love out of this building, and they equally cheer back, keeping the noise at an even pace. The Preds roster in this game tries to give Erik Källgren a good test early, as he is in net for the Leafs, as the blue and white try to fix their goaltending woes. The Leafs and the Preds trade chances, and then about 5 minutes in, Duchene and Forsberg have a 2-on-1. The Leafs are able to defend well as they fall back and prevent the Preds from opening the scoring. Play stays relatively even as we reach the last half of the first period. Each team trying to outmaneuver each other, trying to get the right line combinations on the ice to try and create that first goal. But if you're the Preds and you need that burst of energy, who do you go to? You go back to old coach John Hines' farm, of course. It's the herd line, and just coming out of the Preds defensive zone, Colton Sissons weaves around as the play goes into the Leafs zone, and around a Leafs defender, Colton Sissons gets it over to the Ox. Tanner Jeannot. Yes, that's Tanner Jeannot, not Tanner Jeannot, Ron McLean. I heard you. I watched this game on Hockey Night in Canada. Tanner Jeannot takes the pass from Colton Sissons and he skates it. He gets Källgren hugging his right post mistakenly, and he makes no doubt. He rips it glove side into the net, giving the Preds a 1-0 lead. Jeannot's 21st of the season gives the Preds the energy they were looking for. But right after that, Duchene would get caught tripping Mitch Marner, so the Preds have to be careful not to give the momentum right back to the blue and white. Leafs sustained some good pressure during that man advantage, but lacked the execution, and the Preds are able to kill it off. After taking a penalty, Matt Duchene is able to draw an interference penalty on Justin Hall of the Leafs. But before the Preds can try and extend their lead, they allow the Leafs to have a 2-on-1 shorthanded going the other way that Duchene is able to get back just in time and break up. Preds would have some good looks, good promise for later in the game. They can't extend their lead, but they keep their lead 1-0 after the first. Preds keep the pressure coming. Only 90 seconds into the second period, Mikael Granlund gets the pass from recent Preds call-up from the Admirals, Matt Tennyson, and he gets it over to a man who also got called up from Milwaukee, Jeremy Davies, and he takes an innocent-looking shot towards the net. And there is Ellie Tolvanen providing the screen, also getting the attention of Leafs defender Rasmus Sandin as Tolvanen tips in Davies' shot from the point past Källgren of the Leafs, giving the Preds a 2-0 lead. About a minute after the Preds took a 2-0 lead, Jason Spezza is in the penalty box, and the Preds look to make it 3-0, but not before the Leafs have a 2-on-1 chance going the other way. That my captain, Roman Josi, races back to break up defensively before the Preds can get some chances, but can't convert before Spezza's penalty is killed off. About 6 minutes into the second period, Austin Matthews with his first great chance to get on the scoreboard and get the Leafs closer in this game. He knows he has Tennyson right on his tail, and he takes a shot that Saros is able to get the right angle on and turn aside. Preds creating a good cycle about 7 minutes into the middle frame in the Leafs zone, and McCarron is denied by Sjögren of the Leafs, and soon after that, it's first line against first line, battling it out in the Preds zone as Austin Matthews is able to set up Mitch Marner in a slot. He beats Saros, cutting the Preds lead to 2-1. We've got a game now. But the Preds would respond because just over 9 minutes left to go in the second period. The man who already scored, Eeli Tolvanen, backhand chips it to Alexander Carrier. He's at the blue line, just inside it, waiting for the right angle when he sees that he has a wide open pass to Mattias Ekholm. He winds up, times Carrier's pass just right, blasts it home past Sjögren, restoring the Preds 2-goal lead. Now they lead 3-1. Moments later, you know this Leafs team is not going to go away. They are not high-powered offense for nothing. They're buzzing right back in the Preds zone, and Matthews rings one off of the post beside Saros. Leafs would then be rewarded with a power play as Ryan Johansson got caught interfering with Morgan Riley after Ekholm's insurance goal, and the Leafs are creating some good chances, but UC Saros is able to see all the shots coming his way, and the Preds successfully kill off Johansson's penalty. Just around a 2-minute mark left in the second period, the Preds creating some chances, trying to create an insurmountable 3-goal lead. Yes, 3-goal leads are safe for the Preds. Maybe not so much for the Leafs, but they're unable to convert. And then a player who I have heard for the Leafs has been snake-bitten, John Tavares, is unable to beat Saros to chip into the Preds lead. The Leafs are rewarded with a power play with about 20 seconds left to go in the second period, resulting with about a second and a half left to go in the period. They would pull Sjögren, trying to chip away at the lead. Preds escape the period with no more goals against them, still lead the Leafs 3-1 after 40. Third period starts, the Leafs still working that remainder of the power play that they got awarded late in the second period with not one, not two, but 3 great chances down low to try and beat Saros, and he stops them every single time. Preds get a burst of momentum from that killed off power play, but the Leafs counter. Never say die for this team. You have to realize this when you play the blue and white, and off of a misplayed dumping by Saros as he tries to target the puck and get it behind out from his net. He gets back in time, but not enough where Austin Matthews is able to just sneak and tuck it by him, cutting the Preds lead to 3-2. Preds think they have restored their 2-goal lead about 5 minutes into the period as the Preds are rushing into the Leafs zone. Duchesne had gotten a rebound and knocked it in past Sjögren, but the net has come off, and it was dislodged because Philip Forsberg pushed Justin Hall into the Leafs netminder. The refs saw it. There was no denying it. Preds lead stays at 1, but Forsberg says, "Don't worry, boys. I got this." Preds would create a rush into the Leafs zone, and the puck would come into possession of the Leafs netminder, Erik Sjögren, and he gets a little too desperate trying to create a rush the other way, and he sends it straight over the glass. And you know what happens when a player, not less a goalie, does that? It's a delay of game penalty. And the Preds, you think, would finally be able to get a great chance to convert on this power play, but it's not until the last few seconds of it that they finally do. Maybe that will carry over to another power play, but not this one, and it is killed off by the Leafs. Preds lead remains at 1. And you've got Jason Spezza of his age who can still have the energy that he does. He has a wraparound chance behind Saros just at about the face-off dot, whips one that beats Saros but cannot beat the crossbar. Then you've got TJ Brody who gets away with a hooking call on Eeli Tolvanen that frustrates Captain Roman Josi to no end. Just under 9 minutes left to go in regulation. Preds pressing hard for the insurance goal. You've got Yakov Trenin, cross-ice pass to Matt Duchesne, and the puck seems to have nothing but daylight into the back of the net, but Erik Sjögren is able to get across and get his pads on it. What do the Preds have to do to catch a break to get the insurance goal and get this W? Well, maybe the Preds' prayers were finally answered, because just a little bit over 8 minutes left to go in regulation, Kyle Clifford of the Leafs would get caught for interference with Alexander Carrier, giving the Preds their 4th power play opportunity of the game. Preds keep possession in the Leafs zone. Good passing, good solid possession as Matt Duchene gets it. He waits to see if he can get a shot on net, but guess who is right ahead of him, and he sees Philip Forsberg as he bangs away at the rebound. Shalgren goes down on his pants. Forsberg digs away in a backhand, gets it in. It's in. It's 2-11. Forsberg has taken control of the Preds' all-time goal-scoring lead. Preds, more importantly, lead this game 4-2.
My son, Phil L. It's time for me to bestow on you this Nash bobblehead to remark you taking sole possession of the Preds' all-time goal-scoring lead.
Thank you, David. I take this Pred bobblehead with quite pride and love of the Preds franchise in my heart. I'm the king of Preds Mountain! So to recap, not only did the Preds have a 4-2 lead now, that goal gives Forsberg 2-11, first up top, the Preds all-time franchise goal-scoring lead. That's Forsberg's 33rd of the season, one back of tying the man who wore number 33 for this franchise, Victor Arvidsson, for the most goals in a single season. 2 away from setting a new franchise all-time mark. And almost 2 minutes precisely after Forsberg gave the Preds a 4-2 lead, this team wants to put this game out of reach for any scare left of the Leafs coming back in this game. After some good defensive pressure that the Preds are able to kill off perfectly, Roman Josi pokes it ahead to Philip Forsberg, who has a 2-on-1 going into the Leafs zone. And you think that Philip Forsberg will shoot? Well, he does, but he doesn't go in, but he creates the rebound and comes right out to number 95, Matt Duchene, who collects the rebound and deposits it into the Leafs net, giving the Preds their first 3-goal lead of the game. They now lead 5-2 on Matt Duchene's 32nd of the season, as he reminds his buddy, hey, you may be number 1 in franchise all-time goals, but I'm going to give you the race of your life this season. Leafs pull Shalgren with about 5 minutes left to go in regulation, trying to chip into the Preds lead, and soon after they have pulled Shalgren, they have pressure in deep right in on Saros. Mitch Marner trying to pass it right in front of the net over through a lane to John Tavares. It's in the net because it deflected by accident. It happens sometimes off of Roman Josi past Saros. Leafs have cut the Preds lead to 5-3. Soon after that, once they get possession, Leafs try to pull Shalgren again. And soon after that, the Preds have a chance to put the game away there as Sissons gets it to Tanner Jeannot to try and bury the empty netter, but he shoots it wide. With about 3 minutes and change left to go in regulation, Leafs pressuring, trying to get a goal to reduce the Preds lead to 1. Michael Banting with a great look that Saros sees the whole way and says, it is not getting by me. Leafs not going away, but Preds equally up to the task of trying to milk this clock down to 0 and or get that insurance goal, and that's what would end up happening, because soon after Tanner Jeannot would break his stick and you thought the Preds might be in trouble, there's Josi once again, the captain of this squad, to save the day, and he gets it to Sissons, who then gets it to Yakov Trenin, who makes no mistake this time, buries it into the empty cage, the freebie goal, giving the Preds the 6-3 lead, and that would be the final score. I don't know how many of you saw it when Forsberg came out for his first start of the game lap before being interviewed by Kara Hammer, but Forsberg patted the logo on his chest. Forsberg, your agent JP Barry, Preds brass, which of course includes general manager David Poyle, sit down and hammer this thing out. Forsberg wants to be a Pred. Let's get her done already. He wants to remain a Pred for life. Pay the man his money. Anyways, about the game, props to this team not quitting when this Leafs team, which is known for its firepower, kept pushing back every time you took a lead. The Preds showed, yes, they do have firepower that should put fear into teams around the league with the likes of Philip Forsberg and Matt Duchene. But they also showed they had depth because there were 6 different goal scorers for the Preds in this game. And hey, it never hurts when you get help on the out-of-town scoreboard because earlier in the day, Dallas and St. Louis both lost in regulation. Now, the Preds have 2 days of rest before they start a key West Coast road trip with 20 games left in the season. In the standings, they have 76 points. They're right on Minnesota's tail. They're within catching St. Louis for second, and they have Vegas right behind them, but Nashville has games in hand on them, and they have a quite comfortable, getting there, I would think, lead on Dallas. With the 20 games left they have to go and play in this regular season, if the Preds can just tread water and play just above 500, I think they should be okay to make the playoffs. But to be successful in the playoffs, you don't want to just tread water, you want to have momentum. So try to play closer to it. 2/3, 66 to over 70% pace, please. Regardless, should be a hell of a final 6 weeks left to go in the regular season. So that's it for this video. Thank you very much for watching. As always, click like if you like this video. Click subscribe if you really liked it. You can find my social media by clicking on the channel name. Tell all your friends about Predemption. And if I haven't mentioned it enough in this video before this moment, let me say it again. Boyle, pay Forsberg his money.